Thank you very much. What about another coordinator for, okay, please.
Okay, thanks for your talk. And so we have next speaker. There is the Professor Gyeong Syn. She is from Korea National University. Her talk is the convergence space of the digital transformation era. Please welcome.
Hello, my name is Gyeong Syn, the speaker of this talk. First of all, thanks to AKC for inviting me. And I'm very excited to having this talk with scientists in this conference. Now, let me introduce you to the COAS group. In 2019, the era of convergence design and the digital transformation, media artists, designers, architects, professors, and scientists, we gathered for cultural and intellectual exchanges. And we study on oncoming social changes and spatial changes, focusing on the humanitic perspectives and experiences. And we are doing the researches about combining different study fields together, like digital and analog encounters, online and offline experiments. Today, along with the projects we have done before, I would like to talk about the changes in digital transformation that are accelerating due to the COVID-19 pandemic and how the offline spaces can follow the changes. Now is the era that the technologies such as IoT, big data, cloud computing, and the AI have been developed. Digital transformation is taking place with the hyper-connected social backgrounds that is using the technologies mentioned earlier. And right now, we are in the situation of COVID-19 pandemic. The mobile communication life accelerated by the pandemic also. And then what kind of communication method should we think about? There are two situations when a new idea is developing. The first is constraint and the second is fusion based on it. There are restrictions in many parts of our lives now. As ordinary daily life was destroyed, spaces where people gather or enjoy became more and more difficult to operate. Then what is the solution in this situation? Of course, this problem won't be solved right away, but we should at least think about the new changes to solve it. To talk about nowadays, various devices are connected by the network, and the devices are obtaining user information in various situations and environments. They use that information to create independent but interconnected interfaces that are not the same for everyone and personalized to each user. In the COVID-19 pandemic environment, contentless interfaces are required. The form of daily life is changing to things like online classes and working from home. It is necessary to not directly meet without broadening the range of physical body activity. We became to live in a network environment by using network technologies such as mobile and cloud computing instead of physical movement. In the other world, the communication is a virtual environment, not actual, became the common. The common interfaces of everyday life in this situation is mainly screen-based. We use mobile devices such as cell phones and tablets, or computers and home appliances. And most of the interfaces are displayed on the built-in flat screens of limited size. In this era, will all the spaces in our lives disappear? Should we only use the interfaces that are on the small screens of personal devices or products? Based on the references of researchers and projects we have done, we suggest three things to consider for the ideas about the new type of spaces. The first is among extreme isolation or open spaces, we should pay attention to the open spaces. Second, interfaces for contactless in an open common space. Third, interfaces that can be personalized in the public interface. The second and the third are about natural data collection and usage. The spaces considered for the safety in pandemic situation are polarized, such as extreme isolation or open space. The isolated space limits human physical activity, so therefore we focus on the open spaces that guarantee actual body activity, and we think of new forms of it. The spaces may be completely exposed open spaces or semi-open spaces inside the building. The spaces are not on isolated private spaces, but common spaces where multiple people gather. That is why new forms of the spaces are needed. Although it is space used by many people, service should be designed with minimal contact between the people. So we need a design based on data, like designs to collect data naturally, and designs that change flexibly using acquired data. Maybe it will be the form of the platform that is using digital conversions, and it will be the spaces that are fusion of online and offline. Communication takes a place in real space, but data and information use online networks. In order to be a contactless service, when people move, use specific services, or need information, it is necessary to provide the user's needs appropriately and flexibly. To fulfill it, the priority should be the obtaining basic information such as the user's state, situation, environment, and behavior at the moment. In addition to collect the data automatically using sensors or cameras, users can be prompted to give information naturally without perception. When we use the services online, we are often see advertisements, images, and knowledge that we needed before. This is the function that provides feedback by user data, analyzing such types of the user. It may be possible only after entering personal information through the process like signing up for membership. However, in the digital space of the offline, it is possible to provide the information and services that customer wants without inputting personal information. It is also possible without saving personal information. Maybe we can make the input process as entertainment or information that people want to enjoy. Even if the user does not touch and type to input, it is possible to get information by communicating with voice and motion. This can be used at the most of common spaces where service providers need feedbacks from people such as shopping malls, hotels, airports, maybe galleries, and government buildings. The acquirers and providers of information can examine the real needs of the customers, like why they visited the place, what age and gender, what they are looking for, or like what taste they like, what information they want. All of this information is collected in the cloud and converted into data. This allows service providers to know how to provide customized information to customers or trends of customers' taste for products launching next season. Then how we make it and what is needed to be researched. To continue the talk from the previous page, here is a reference from projects we did. We created the flagship store space of the fashion brand MCM in Swiss. The space provides the virtual experience to customers like travel around the world. The customers enjoy the experience and MCM used this method for communicating with the customers. We designed the passport so customers can get stamps from stores all around the world. This is invitation, the first step of the trip. Traveling, and people write postcards during the trip. And this is the diagram, how it works. This is a smart mirror. It recommends products for a person who stands in front of it. For all these experiences to happen, tangible pleasure and intangible technology must be coexist. The tangible pleasure means the interface that user consider to be enjoying, and intangible technologies are hidden technologies that acquire the information from them. We built the media world at Suntec Convention Center. And this media world also provides a new experience to people. Like media world shows a personalized welcome message to individual visitors. But how the new experience happens? Each visitor who visits the center, the person has an ID card, and when the visitor checks in with the ID card, the background system notices who is the person entering now. This world has many kinds of contents for people. The contents are in the network so that everything can be arranged in one admin remote control, easy to access and easy to control. This is a digital fashion show, and this is a digital clock with media art. And we also built the social tree at Changi Airport. Let me talk about the behind story about this project. In the original design, the information visualizing art using the data from FIDS was included. FIDS means Flight Information Display System. It was designed to the media art show the flight information so people feel the information intuitively. It was planned to be a fusion of data, human, and media art. This project was finished in 2014. Using FIDS was not allowed at the time, but now maybe we can include such functions to other projects. And also the social tree has the touchscreen kiosk to input and enjoy it. but the technology is developed after then. So if we create such a project now, maybe we would find more natural way to input or detect what the user wants. This is what we researched and designed for Changi Airport before. Approach method using virtual reality and augmented reality provided in offline actual space and the convergence space of the offline and online. Once the data is obtained with hidden technologies, the data is used to provide the personalized services and information that user desire to the individual user. The appearance can be art or design, which the way to provide the services to people in the right moment and more friendly. This is the simple example of the combining virtual and actual things. We created the virtual driving installation, also combined online and offline, using both physical and virtual things to make a special driving experience. There are many forms to deliver messages. We also built the connecting media wall in Korea. The pieces of screens move, and media art detect the movement and express gravity with water. With these kinds of experiences, we also researched suggestion for the new kinds of 3D physical user interface. Installed cubic pops out, followed by menu buttons and contents of each media scene. Every scene and contents have the depth data and it controls the cubics in real time. And the installation is made with motion detection and video mapping, motor and gear engineering, and interactive media programming. And the installation is installed for Hyundai Motor Foundation. And we also designed the flying balloon for Changi City, the city built in front of the airport. And this project uses the drone balloons, which contains the lighting and media function. We use the shape of the columns for the design. And I know it looks like a COVID-19 virus, but no, it isn't. Hope you like the shape. And to say truth, we designed this shape before the pandemic. These drones detect sounds and motions for operating to move and fly. And the drones communicate each other using network and so that they can make patterns. This is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for being here and listen to me. And please do not hesitate to contact us for further information. Thank you.